Hello, everyone. Hope you're well on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to talk about dealing with the normies, the normals. Normies, normals, the asleep, the half asleep. I'll explain, and I'll also explain. Mrs. Dawg was talking about this with me last night. She's going through something, going through a tug of war, and I get what she's talking about. I'll try to explain it and try to articulate that to you. I'm also going to try to make you laugh in this video because we need some levity in this world. And I know I've been real serious lately in my videos of late. I try to insert some humor where I can. And of course, I always end the videos with a passage from the Bible that will inspire you and that will resonate with you. And I will have one of those as well towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. First, though, I just have to say, what is it with public bathrooms? I can't speak for the women's bathrooms, although Mrs. Dawg tells me they are a horror show in most places. But from a man's perspective, you know, I do a lot of my work out in the field, outside, you know, out on the road and the community. So I try to time my my visits and my looking for people with where there are available bathrooms that are decent. You know, I mean, we've become connoisseurs of public restrooms, like I said, and it's you know, I think and the team that I work with, we favor like Publix. You know, the Publix grocery stores, if we're near one of those, they're usually kept clean. You know, the quick trips, the racetracks, the large gas stations, they're hit and miss. You know, sometimes they're okay. Most of the time, they're pretty suspect, even in the men's room. And what is it with people wanting to make noise? They slam doors and they're yelling and I mean, come on. I mean, you're just in there to go to the bathroom, do your business, and get out. People are on the phone, having full conversations, listening to music, listening to movies apparently in there. I don't know. I hear way too much. And I'm just going in there and do my business real quick and get out of there. By the way, I'm going to tie this into a prep item / barter item. Dude wipes. Awesome. These are awesome to have on hand, y'all. Even if you don't work out in the field like me, I have no affiliation with them. I think they're just good. You know, even a competitor, you know, another company that makes similar, you know, similar brands. But these work very well. This mint chill, it smells really good too. But good to have, even if you're out shopping all day or whatever. You never know. And but good to have. They also could be an awesome bartering item. It really could be. All right, I just had to mention it. All right, I keep several of those handy just in case. Mrs. Dawg got me onto using those not long ago. Well, a while back actually. I just had to mention that. Dealing with normies. Now, Mrs. Dawg's been going through something. She talked to me about this last night. She was like, you know, I'm really going through a struggle. I'm like, oh, well, tell me about it. Tell me about it. And she's like, people at work, you know, and she's alluded to this to me before in conversation, but the people that she works with, as far as she can tell, the majority, overwhelming majority, are not informed, oblivious, head in the sand. Now, there are some that she knows are awake, and there are some that she suspects that are awake, but she doesn't know for sure. However, there are some that are for sure blinded. I don't know about blinded, but just clueless. So dealing with the normies. And she said, I feel like I'm in a tug of war because I spend a lot of time, you know, you spend a lot of time with people at work. You're there at least 8 hours a day. So on the one hand, you know, part of my day I'm with these normies, and they're blissfully, it's like blissfully ignorant almost. It's like not a care, it's very carefree. Everything's going to be fine. This is all temporary. Prices are going to come down. Oh, you know, we're going to come back to 2018, you know, and blissfully ignorant. Okay. It's all transitory. But then on the other hand, she comes back home, or she comes back to real life later on, and it's like, well, you know, now I'm informed and I know what's going on. So on the one hand, I'm dealing with these folks. On the other hand, I am awake and I'm aware of what's really going on in the world, and I'm so concerned, and so I'm weighing, trying to get a balance of a life balance here. We talked about it for a while. When I was coming up with a list of things, as far as the unaware, the normies, and then us, and they are really more carefree. They're spending money. They live for today. They live for tomorrow instead of a few years down the road, or for retirement, or saving money. So they're very spendthrift. It's not spendthrift, but they're very free with just spending whatever. They don't care. They're more apt to get in big time debt. They believe all of this is temporary. Like I said, they have a very most of the time they have a lack of knowledge of history. Many of them are young, not all, but many of them are young and just don't know their history or know how things develop typically historically. Like I said, they live for today. If you an SHTF to them, and I've had people actually tell me this or ask me this, not lately, but they're like, well, Dawg, if it's SHTF full time, big time, the good thing about it, Dawg, is that I won't owe any more debt. Everything just starts over, like the slate is clean. I'm like, if that's the case, if you survive, there's no guarantee you're surviving this. Most of the time, if I'm told that nowadays, I just smile and move on. I'm not even going into it. Not even going to try. Because this day and time, if you're still lost, you're going to be lost. All right. In my opinion, there's no hope. Fast food, they don't bring their lunch. They eat out fast food every day. The high grocery prices. Now that is one thing they're complaining about. Like Dawg, yeah. I'm really noticing high prices at the grocery store. Really? Is it just now hitting you? So that is hitting them in the face. But they think it's temporary. This is all temporary. It's going to go away. It's just a rough spot. We can get through this together. Togetherness. Very much into social justice. They're willing to vote social justice and one, very narrow-minded, as opposed to, on the other hand, well, you might be unemployed, or you're having to pay. I guess you're okay with paying higher bills for everything else, including taxes, groceries, gas, you name it. They're willing to do that. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's demonically possessed or what that is. I don't know. Now, us on the hand, we tend to save more. People like us, we know that something's wrong. Things feel off. They will call us conspiracy theorists. We know this is not temporary. Our heads are not in the sand. We are aware. We keep up with what's going on. We're the we're the watchwomen, we're the watchmen. And, we have some frame of reference for history. And, so that's different. We're not into the idolatry. I can't say the word, idols. We see things for what they are, pretty much. The normies are more into the entertainment. It's like they almost worship the big entertainers. And it's really, I've never understood it. But us, on the other hand, we're not into that. We just aren't. I mean, we watch a show every now and then of something, or a movie sometimes, but we don't worship the actors and actresses. We don't value their opinions on other things. They're just an actor. You're an entertainer. You may be an idiot in other things, Many of them are. But there's this entertainment worship for them. They're much into their devices, the electronic devices. Whereas we are not. We tend to be a lot more conservative in our spending. We take our lunch. We're a lot more careful about that kind of thing generally. we're more conservative as far as, we want to be able to pay our bills and save where we can. I mean, there's a lot of differences there. And Miss Dawg was like, this is exhausting. I'm like, well, don't take it personal. Don't try to, try to get into trying to change them. They're not going to change. The best thing to do is just go about your business and keep going, keep it moving. I think we're at the point where we just really do have to be gray. We have to go gray mode in a lot of situations. Maybe not every situation, but in most situations, do our thing, keep our focus. Don't let them throw you off your game. Don't let them distract you. Another thing is, don't get caught up in the social media thing. And I know I'm guilty of it sometimes. This dog's guilty of it sometimes. If you get on some of these social medias, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, especially this time of the year, all the beach pictures are coming in. All the vacation pictures are coming in. That's cool. Good for them. You're seeing the highlight reel on social media. You are seeing the trailer for that movie. You're not seeing the full movie. You're not seeing real life there for them. Okay, keep that in mind. I've had to tell clients this because they get a complex. I can't afford to go to the beach. I'm like, I can't either, dude. I'm right there with you on that one, pal. You're seeing the highlight reel. So, and that's good for them that they're doing it. I hope they're not going into debt doing it. Are they slapping that on a credit card? Most of them probably are. Like I said, they're living for today. They're living for tomorrow. They're not living for a year from now. They're not trying to set themselves up. They don't have any plans. I know people like that. Keeping up with the Joneses is very important for them. Having a look, having a status, drive a certain vehicle, keep up with the neighbor. And I don't know about y'all, the older I get, it's just not important to me. It's not. We need to take time to relax and unwind. We really do. We need to unplug in certain times. Don't get stressed out. There's a lot coming out every day. We're just inundated with data, with information all the time. You can really get down in the weeds with it and feel down about it. You really can. We need to have some fun. We need to have, I know it's just as a small example, every now and then, Ms. Dawg and I will watch, we watch a lot of YouTube, but we'll watch a channel that the other day we were watching a channel that was nothing but old commercials, the old classic commercials from the 70s and the 80s, even in the 90s. There was a infomercial that was hilarious from, I believe it was 1959 or 1960, and it was entitled The Electric Home, like the first home that's all electric. It was hilarious, but it was awesome. I mean, you should see this thing. Look it up. You could probably if you just Google that. It's really pretty cool. Some of the stuff they're showing in there, the kitchen and the living room, the dining room, and they got the people, the men and the women in there, and the men are in suits. And it was just the way they dressed back then. It was so cool. I mean, we're in such a different time now. It's really incredible. And we were just kind of laughing, but we were like in awe in a way too. Wow, people knew how to dress. People behaved so differently back then. I mean, think back to even the 80s or 90s, or further back, going out in public. So whatever is kind of entertainment for you, got to work that in for you. You really do. Take a small trip if you can, if that's something you want to do. Mrs. Dawg and I are going to do that next month. We're not even 100% sure what destination, where we're going to go, but we're going somewhere. I think it's important to detach for a little while and get away for a bit, even if it's for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. We need that. We do need that, y'all. But I do believe whether you're at work or whether you're at church, social group, club, whatever it is, I think we need to really concentrate on doing several things, and that's being careful who you trust. Go gray. Don't have to give out a lot of information, y'all. We need to blend in somewhat. Even at church, be careful with what you're talking about in your private life, what you do. You know, I mean, I'm serious. Politics, be careful with that. Whew, especially at work. But even if if you don't have to work anymore, you're retired and you're at church or you're involved in these little small groups or whatever, depends. I mean, if you developed a real trust with somebody, that's different. And then the social media, be super careful about that. What you're posting there, your pictures, your I don't know, your opinions even. It's all being looked at, and I think the scrutiny is going to get more intense. It really is. If you think about it, just be careful in general out there, y'all. What you're letting on to people. You don't really know. If you don't know them real well. The next 5 months are very crucial. If we think about what's coming up here, we know, and that time is short. So I think we need to take the opportunity to also not just keep preparing. Well, we do need to keep preparing, but work in some fun, work in some downtime. Even if you just do nothing, if you just want to take extra naps or something like that, do it. If you got, make the time, carve out that time. If you're working, take all your vacation, take all your paid time off. Every hour of it. Don't leave 15 minutes on the table for them people, because they don't care about you anyway. I mean, in reality, they really don't. They truly don't, y'all. They don't. Like, well, dog, they're going to miss me. No, they ain't going to miss you. No, they ain't going to miss you. All right, I'm going to get to the passage real quick. This is a really good one. Psalm chapter 144, first couple of verses. Praise be to the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle. He is my loving God and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, in whom I take refuge. Amen. He is all of that and more, y'all. He is our rock, our refuge, our deliverer, forever and ever. So no matter what tough times we're going through, it's temporary, y'all. Keep it in mind. It will pass. It will pass, and He is still there forever. Still there with us. Always will be. Be careful out there. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.